Let's start afresh.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
I believe so too. I hope, because Trump only has 4 years. So I really hope that when Trump is gone, this momentum continues. I really hope that it can.
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
I think so. I think it has potential to be one of the greatest presidents America has ever seen, because it's when
America's momentum
a country is facing great turmoil and great challenges, something that could potentially destroy them, that you will know who your heroes are, because Trump was a hero that we needed at a very vital time, and it was almost like it was God. It was almost like movie. It was almost like prophecy, where you pray for something, you pray for someone, and that person ends up coming and rescuing you and coming into power and doing exactly what they say they would do. It's not common. It's not common. He came in signing presidential orders one after the other, and I was really impressed. I've never seen something like that. It was it was a great moment for the world, not just America. It was a great moment for the world, because I know that other presidents are watching and they see what he did. They see how people reacted to an extremely great gesture like that. And I know that some people will take notes and some people will learn from that. But with time, the whole world will still get to see.
Back. Our spirit is back. Our pride is back. Our confidence is back. And the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again.
I hope so. I hope we won't witness what the Democrats and the Liberal Party, what the Liberals did the last 4 years. I hope we will never witness that again. I hope we can continue to win, because witnessing that again will be like absolute chaos. The kind of chaos that was happening and still happening, because we haven't stopped the chaos. We are still fighting. You notice judges trying to block one order after the other. So it's not like the chaos is over, but at least we have a fighting chance now. And I hope we never witness something like that. I really hope so. I really hope we never do.
It's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
That's true.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
You did. You did. USA. I like the country. To be honest with you, I like the country. I've liked USA for a very long time, but the Biden administration really tested my love for the country. Because even currently, I don't let my kids watch a lot of American movies, and I think you all know why. But with Trump in power, I don't know if he'll be able to stop DI in the in the movie section, all this wokeness, if he will be able to fight wokeness in movies. But I really hope he does, because I'm counting on him. The whole world is counting on him. The whole world is actually counting on Trump. And if he does stop wokeness in the movie sector, that would be a big win, because movie is the absolute form of propaganda the woke mind virus uses to operate. Hollywood, that is the number one form of propaganda. Look at Netflix. Almost every show on Netflix has that woke mind virus attached to it, ready to leech onto any child that even decides to spend a couple minutes into the movie. They are there. Always. Subconsciously operating in the open, in the dark, in any aspect, they are there. Whispering different words, whispering visuals, showing you things that you never bargained to see. They force you to see it just because of you wanted to watch a movie. It was never like that. Or even if it was, we weren't exposed at this extent at which we are exposed currently. You can't even relax without being MK Ultra'd into something. That is a conspiracy world, but it is true. It is true.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
J.D. Vance is a G. I like J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is a real G.
More Americans believe that our country is
a
headed
real
in the
G.
right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
The main man.
Likewise,
I'm not an American, and the way things are with a lot of laws, I'm not even sure I want to be. But I do like that Tom Homan. Is it Homan or Homeland? Okay, Homan. That man is a stand-up man. The way he came in and really showed, he just disgraced the Biden administration, because it took him less than a month to do what they've been trying to do for 4 years. It's crazy. Totally disgraced them. Tom Homan is someone that Biden looked down on and didn't use him, because probably they didn't want the border closed, so they had to keep him on the sidelines. But I thank God that Trump knows who a real man is and competent people, and immediately he came in, he appointed the man and said, handle this. And that's a good thing.
small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
This man is very disgraceful. He's a big asshole. Apologies to your age, and I like to respect I like to respect older people that are older than me. I really do. But it's crazy when they don't actually respect themselves, because you're making a fool of yourself. Trump hasn't even said anything controversial. He hasn't even insulted anyone or done the usual Trump things. But you stand up and you decide to make a fool of yourself, and he also looks like the person who instigated the impeachment in the first week of Trump office. I think it's him also. And that's crazy. He shouldn't be doing all this. If he can start any impeachment process, it is within his right. But standing up and trying to cause chaos and being what do they call it? Noisy. Trying to distract everyone, trying to distract Trump from his speech. I think that's crazy. I think he should do better. That's what a child would do.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the sergeant at arms to restore order
Trump
to the joint session.
He's shaking his this guy. Oh, Trump.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
He needs to be removed. He needs to be removed. Jasmine.
Members are directed
Jasmine
to
Crockett.
uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
Jasmine Crochet.
Mr. President, you continue.
I don't even know which one it is. I know her name is
Over
Jasmine.
the past 6 weeks,
That's a good
I have
name, a
signed
beautiful
nearly
name.
100 executive
And she's
orders
actually
and taken
beautiful,
more than
but
400 executive actions a
Crazy
record
black woman.
to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
He's doing his job better than anyone I've seen. Trump is setting an example for other people, other presidents to emulate
In
from.
fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many.
I think so. I think so too. I think so too. I think it is.
And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that?
How about that?
I don't know about that list. But
Whatever, I will take it also.
Within
I will
hours
take
of
it.
taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency.
It's not a
on our
crime to
southern
be a
border,
fan of Donald
and
Trump.
I deployed the
It's
U.S.
not.
military
It's not.
and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
That's true. That is very true.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way.
That's true.
In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands.
Trump will never let the world forget that Joe Biden was truly a horrible president.
Murderers, drug
He
dealers,
would never
gang
let the
members,
world
and
forget
people
that.
from mental
And I think it's good
institutions
also
and insane
because
asylums
why should they?
were released
Why should they?
into our country. Who would-
So that they know what the media
This is my fifth such
did.
speech to
They
Congress.
covered it
Once
up.
again, I look at the Democrats
They
in front of me,
covered
and I realize
disaster
there's absolutely
Biden
nothing
was.
I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find, and once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing.
Nothing.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease.
There's nothing you
a
can do.
disease that would
They try to
wipe
kill
out
you, brother.
entire nations.
They try to kill
or
you. They
announce
try
the
to kill this
answers to
man.
the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way. So, Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible
never
years
will.
for America?
They will never do
For the good
that.
of our nation, let's work together and let's
They
truly
will
make
never
America
ever
great
do
again.
that. They will never ever do that. Nancy Pelosi, no papers to read today. No papers.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid. I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars.
Climate. It's not good being gullible. I remember when I was in school, growing up, secondary school, just like high school in the US. Whenever I heard of climate, I was actually excited. I wanted to help. I wanted to start a climate program. I wanted to start a lot of climate actions because I was indoctrinated. It's not that I don't care about the environment. I do care. I want to still do so many things that have to do with maybe recycling, and I do care about the environment. But growing up is finding out that when the rich talk about the environment, it's just another form of taxation. It's just another form of compliance. Oh, we don't want you buying fuel for your car. We want you driving an electric car because of environment. Oh, we want you paying this amount of tax because of the environment. Oh, this is what we want because of the environment. Oh, the environment. Take this vaccine because of the environment. Put your kids here because of the environment. Stop driving. Take the bus because of the environment. Oh, you shouldn't. Why do you want to drive? They're bicycles. Drive a bicycle because of the environment. That is another way of subjugation. Oh, you have the money, but mentally they put you in bondage. you find yourself having money for a car and taking the bus. I'm not saying that that is what is happening everywhere currently, but that is where they were taking us to. Eco-friendly, zero emission. What does that mean? Here in Nigeria, we barely have electricity for more than 7 hours a day. This light you see right now is my own personal power source, not from the government. I had to buy my electricity. So what do you think I would do when I have an electric car? I have a generator. Where will I charge my electric car from? I'm not saying that the Nigerian government is actually imposing electric car on anyone, but the UN and their SDGs, this is where they're leading us to. And it's not going to happen because we can see, we know their plans. It's not going to happen. I don't want to go deeply into anything climate change because YouTube will just slap a huge climate guideline policy boom, on this video, and I think I'm going to blur out the word climate or even edit it out because I'm still getting started to YouTube and it's going to be a source of income. It's not for fun. I enjoy the video, I enjoy talking, but also I want to take it full time and I want to also have an income from YouTube, which is why I'm probably going to post the uncensored version on X. Yes, on X and on Rumble, I'll post all the uncensored version. But YouTube, I'm going to be censoring a lot because free speech is not for YouTube.
That other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
The Human Rights Council withdrawal, a lot of people are speculating is because of Israel and their unfavorable side towards Israel. I don't know about that. On the Israel-Hamas conflict, I have no say in the matter. I'm not a US citizen. I'm not a Muslim. So I have no say in that matter. Well, I am a Christian, and from a Christian point of view, I believe two states should be possible. Because in the past, even in the Bible, there was a time Israel was actually two states, Jordan and Israel. So two states should be possible because I think the destiny is two states. Maybe, I don't know. That is, no matter what I say, no matter what I decide here, it's not going to change anything. But probably two states is the best option to me because Nigeria here, we're living in one state with Christian and Muslims in one country, equally divided. We're doing fine. Radical Islam, unlike what the United States think, it's not every Muslim that's radical. From my experience in Nigeria, I have a lot of Muslim friends. I have so many Muslim friends. I've dated Muslims. We are so integrated here. I have Muslim people are one of my best people. There's a guy that sells things close to where I live, and I remember back in the days when I got broke, he gives me so much things. Oh, take whenever you get money, just pay me, and I like that. Muslim people are actually good brothers in a way, but the radical elements, I think radicalization needs to be stopped. And I think the Islamic Empire, like Mohammed bin Salman, is actually doing something to reduce radicalization. I don't know if it can be permanently stopped, but he's doing something. So when it comes to Islam, I think there are a lot of there may be some misguided things that some people think that is the radicals, but there are still a lot of good Muslims. I won't lie to you. I live in a country divided by Muslims, and we have terrorism here also, but you find that even a lot of the Muslims are the ones complaining against Boko Haram. A lot of Muslims are in Nigerian military, and they're the one fighting the Boko Haram. Christians are there also, but still, the Boko Haram is affecting them as much as everyone else. So I won't say maybe the Boko Haram is ignoring Muslims and just attacking only Christians, which they do. They do a lot. They do, and they push certain agendas, and they try to do a lot of. But in all, I do have Muslim neighbors. We do eat together. They do bring food during Salah, Christmas. They do collect Christmas food most times. I know they say it's haram, but still, some do. And because of that, I can't condemn all Muslims. I can't do that. One of the best presidents in Nigeria, Yaradua, was a Muslim. And I liked Yaradua. I liked his vision. And he brought Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan administration was very corrupt, but still he had good plans for the country. And despite the corruption, a lot of things were better than it is right now. Our current president, Bola Tinubu, is a Muslim. Yoruba Muslim, that is like half Muslim to me. Because Yorubas are they are not committed. But still, I have Muslim neighbors and I have nothing against them. So Americans, you guys should take it easy on the Muslim hatred and Islamophobia. I know you guys are scared because of the replacements. And I believe in the replacements. I believe it's happening. And I can see it. It's not bad to be scared. It's not bad to want it to stop. I support you on that. I believe that the whites need a country of their own. I'm not saying that they should in any way go attack blacks or Muslims or anything like that. But I do believe that if people are going to be coming into Western countries, they do need to be vetted and checked thoroughly to make sure they don't come to spread poisonous agendas. And that's very important. So I guess we'll see where the world is heading to soon enough.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
What Trump just said here about regulations, I think is true. Overregulation kills industry. And it's happening here in Africa. A lot of industries are actually being overregulated unjustly, and I don't think it's how it's meant to be. So if Trump really wants to take down the regulation a bit, which I know a lot of people think is because of Elon Musk is going to favor him, I don't think it's just because of Elon Musk. It's because of US billionaires and even business people. This regulation aspect won't affect the common man. Honestly, it's usually for people that do business, people into mining, oiling, as in drilling, and other sectors that deal with regulation, government regulations, people with companies. Over here in Nigeria, we do have a lot of regulations, but it's the process can be both tedious and fast depending on how grounded you are. So whichever, if they're going to reduce regulations, the only thing is that I think they need to check carefully and make sure they take away the right regulations. That's my own point of view.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Online work. It's the US that tolerates such nonsense. Over here in Nigeria, online what? Who has data to do online work? I know there's 5G data, everything. If even if we do have the data and we do want to do it, it's not going to be productive because productivity requires physical presence to me. That's how you brainstorm with people, not staring at a screen and thinking about what you're going to watch next.
And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
It's not completely back because I still have to censor this video a lot to be able to post it on YouTube, but it is coming back. I think little by little it is coming back.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
It's strange to hear this because if you like me, you think that English was already the official language. Because I'm even surprised that it needs to be signed, but I think maybe some newcons were trying to make it Spanish or trying to. I don't know. I don't live in the US, so let's move on.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Well, I like this just because of I like Trump. Whatever you want to do with that, it's a name, and I want you to succeed in whatever you're doing.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
I have no idea about
Beautiful
that.
Alaska. We love Alaska.
Need some water. Let me get some water.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government. And
this is one of my most favorite topics, and it's something that I really need to talk about. This DEI, people don't realize how dangerous it is. It is actually one of the most dangerous things for black people. Very dangerous. Because of DEI, whenever a black person does something, no matter how talented they are, no matter how real it is, no matter how hard working they are or how hard they worked for it, it's always nowadays attributed to DEI. Because essentially, what that DEI promotes is that, oh, you're here because you're black. Everyone starts thinking that because of you giving preferential treatment. And that's crazy. It's just like you're in a class and some people, they're going to pass anyway. When you pass the next year, you don't know whether they passed truthfully or whether they were actually smart, or maybe because of their dad is the teacher and they just promoted them. So DI is similar to that. You see, okay, for example, Ben Carson. Ben Carson is a brilliant man. He's a politician. He's a Republican. And he would have been a good choice also for VP. But if you choose Ben Carson, everyone will cry DEI. Oh, Trump is trying to appeal to. So that DEI stuff really spoiled the black image. Because anything now that you say black person is almost like, oh, it's DEI. It doesn't matter if they're actually one of the best in it, except it's physical sport. But anything that has to do with intellectual things is almost like, oh, because people don't respect intellectuals anymore. Science has really disappointed us with COVID and some vaccines. I won't say all. But DEI is dangerous, and I want us to get rid of it so that whenever a black person does something, it won't be as if it's just because of their color. It's crazy. I really don't want that to be the case. So DEI, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to die.
And indeed the private sector and our military.
Ilhan Omar.
And our country.
This lady, I heard she got married to her brother for citizenship. Well, people do stupid things when they feel like they don't have any other options. But if she would have waited a little bit with the kind of power she has now, I believe she would have found other ways to get her brother into the country. Because after all, the Democrats ushered in millions of people. So what's one more person? But she had to go do what they call it, immigration fraud. I'm not in support of that, and I'm surprised that being a Muslim, she supports a lot of agendas that the Democratic Party is trying to push. I've always been surprised about that because, well,
will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based.
This is the most common sense stuff I've ever heard. What is so difficult to understand? Air traffic controller, doctor. Why should someone have a position just because of a particular sex or a particular ideology or a particular skin color? Just like the wildfires in LA that the fire women were saying, why would I have to carry you out of a burning fire? If you got yourself in a burning fire, well, it says something about it's just similar, because why would you want an unqualified person in the post? That lady just showed us why you wouldn't want that. there are more graceful ways to say that, oh, I may not be able to carry everyone, but I will try and I will call for help. And probably a couple people will end up helping out and will be able to carry whoever needs help. There are more graceful ways to say it. And probably that's why she got the backlash she got. But still, why would anyone want DEI in places like hospitals, airports? Why would anyone suggest for DI for jobs like that that require meticulous intelligence?
Based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
America, just look at the members of Congress, half standing up, half sitting down. This is such a divisive issue. Having two genders in sports is a divisive issue. Can you imagine? Are you sure the United States is still living on Earth? Are you sure they've not moved to Mars already and we're just being deceived? Maybe that should be a new conspiracy theory. What? You guys want 72 genders in sports? Where does that stop? And with their nonsense cards sitting down, Musk steals, save medic aid, false. I don't even think they're smart enough to actually do these cards on their own. I think their donors did these cards and gave it to them, and that's why they have repeated messages, and you just choose which one you want to show up with. That is crazy. These people are just like dolls. Someone is just operating them with strings. This is not even ventriloquist. This is just strings. They're using strings. This is crazy. It is very crazy. Holding cards, placards, given to you by donors, because it doesn't look like you did it yourselves. It says the same things. Musk steals, Musk, Medicaid, things like that. It's crazy. No originality, no sincerity, everything fake with the Democratic Party, just like CNN, just like their media agencies being exposed for being funded, like AP, Associated Press, being exposed for being funded by, what do they call it, USAID. And CNN cites AP multiple times on cases like the collusion, the Russian collusion, the Biden son's laptop, the Hunter Biden laptop, cited AP on the charges against Trump. So they use one media organization to bring out false news, then other media organizations start citing that particular organization. They are all bought and paid. They are all fake Congress members, bureaucracy.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Crazy. Oh, shocker. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you want men to play with men? Oh, that's crazy. That's Trump. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler for wanting men to play with men, for wanting equality. Them, they want equality between genders, and Trump wants equality even for each gender. You can't have equality between genders. Men and women are not the same. There are equality in social matters, work. Oh, okay. Depend on what aspects you're talking about, but not all. You can't have equality in sports. Men and women can't be equal in sports. Okay, just look at Riley Gaines, look at Matt Walsh, and tell me how many sports like boxing do you think Riley Gaines is going to take on Matt Walsh? Boxing, running, she may be lighter, but give him a few days to train hard, and give her a few days to train hard, and you will know there's a big difference. What else? What other sport? Football. Give them both a year to train, and you will know. Whatever even the swimming she's good at. Give Matt Walsh a couple years to train the way she has, and he will beat her. I think so. So, one thing, it's not that a man will always win in every sport, win a woman in every sport. Because still, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of she males. A lot of males that are just embarrassing. They can't do shit. But someone like Mount Walsh, for example, I know he can do that. But it's common sense, obviously. I know I'm trying to make some jokes, but it's common sense. Leave the women's sports to women. It's one of the reasons why I feel like the United States is embarrassing me. I'm ashamed for them. To want to support something like this is, how can I defend you? How can I defend the Democratic Party when half of them are sitting down right now because of what he said? How can I defend them? It's crazy. I can't.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot.
Beautiful lady, so beautiful. I feel sorry for her. It should never have happened. It should never have happened. It should never have happened. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace to the United States. A disgrace to the Democratic Party. And I don't think that it should just be I don't think the Democrats should just be to blame. Even the Republicans, because they let so much of these things go on. And if not for Trump, they will still let it continue going on, even when they had majority in either the Senate or the House.
Like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Whoever did that to this beautiful lady is a monster, because you can just see how much it affected her life, and I hope she gets better. I hope she goes back to how she was, and if she doesn't, I hope she has an amazing life, because it's really painful.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman.
What?
For a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's
What?
the
What? Are you kidding me? What? That is surprising to hear. I haven't heard about that. 5 hours. 5 hours. 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. 5 hours. That is crazy. That is crazy. To break the record by 5 hours. That is crazy. Wow. Wow. So that just goes to show you how much of a difference there is between a male and a female. Because if a man can do that in a female sport, but the same man can't do that in a male sport, what happens when the best person from the male sport comes to the film? Damn, that will be total annihilation. Probably 10 hours. Wow. That is atrocious. I think that record should be cancelled immediately because it shouldn't count. That is too preposterous to count. Wow. 5 hours. That is a huge gap. That is a huge gap in physicality, in whatever. That is a huge gap. Wow. 5 hours. That's crazy.
meaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Riley Gaines, I love that lady.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world.
Yes.
Common sense has become a common
Yes.
theme, and we will never go back.
And we will win.
We're going to let that happen.
And we will win. Common sense will win. Common sense will win for ourselves, for our children, and for our children. For the continuation of this planet, common sense will win. They won't get us, they won't get our children, and we will prevail because we have God on our side. We will prevail.
Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe